Hi, my name is Kathryn Gomes. I am the author of the Apologia math series, and in this video I'm going to give you a quick overview of some ways that you can do the skills practice for level 3, and I'm going to be talking about the Unit 1 skills practice. Now before I give you some ideas on how to practice, I do just want to communicate to you that this should be a top priority this year for you if you can make it so. I know every school year when you look at what you have to teach and the different kids you're going to be teaching, you have limited time, limited energy. But in level 3, your child is going to be learning multiplication facts, division facts, as well as several other key skills. So if you can, make a mental note that the skills practice for your child who's doing level 3 really should be one of your top priorities this year. And to encourage you, if you can do that this year, if you can really try to be consistent, have them practicing 5 to 10 minutes every day and not skipping too many days, it is going to pay off big time in the future. Knowing these facts well, knowing these skills really fluently is going to continue to be a blessing to your child even up through high school. So, I know it can be hard to prioritize everything, right, during a busy day, but this is one of those things where it's really going to be worth it in the long run. Okay, so what is the Unit 1 skills practice? Well, Unit 1 is going to be a review of what would be traditionally considered like second grade skills, and that's intentional. Lots of kids lose ground over the summer. I don't know how your school year ended last year. Maybe there were a few rough spots. So I always think it's important to overlap a little bit. It's good for kids. It's good for us. It's just the best decision in the long run. So we're going to be doing adding 2-digit numbers, subtracting 2-digit numbers, as well as rounding and estimation. So 3 skills: adding 2-digit numbers, subtracting 2-digit numbers, and rounding and estimation go together. Those are broken down on the daily schedule. So if you take a glimpse at the schedule that is in the front of your teaching guide, actually Unit 1 is in this part here, you will be able to see you're not doing all of them at once. Each week you'll have a certain skill that you're working on. There's a bunch of different ways to practice, and you're going to see that some of these are really simple, quick, and others are a little more fun. And what I try to do in our house is rotate. Some days it's a little crazy and I do something simple and quick just to make sure we do it. Other days I'm like, let's do a game, let's have fun, okay? So that's what we do. The first suggestion I'm going to give you for adding 2-digit numbers is one of those simple and quick ones. In the book, I call it note card facts. Really, it could be a note card or a Post-it. This is as simple as it gets, folks. You're just gonna write one of the facts on a Post-it or on a note card and have your child do this. My kids love note cards and Post-its. I don't know why. So my plan when we do this level is I'm actually gonna put the one fact I want them to do on their book. And before they do the lesson, they do that one, right? It's only one problem. So that's the cool thing. Quick and punchy. You can give them one that doesn't have regrouping if you want an easy win. You can give them a harder one if you want to kind of stretch them a little bit. We also provided a whole bunch of worksheets on the Book Extras site. These are simple, just a straightforward worksheet with a clean design. All right, we gave you lots of white space, room for your child to work. And there's multiple versions of this. You may want to print these out ahead of time and just have it ready to go. It's a 4-day week on the pacing guide, so you could do this as your 5th day, or you can add these one of the days, or even have them do 4 problems one day. It's up to you, right? But really straightforward. Okay. Also, if you want to play a game, games are fun, right? I love games. You might remember this from level 2, these 2-digit spinners. So this is a really simple idea. We have different 2-digit numbers on the spinners, and they're intentionally chosen so that sometimes your child's going to get a problem with regrouping, and sometimes they're not, and that can be kind of fun. How do you make the spinner work? Well, you're going to use a paper clip. Once you've done this once, you know how to do it. You're gonna hold the paper clip with a pencil right on that center spot, okay? So you're holding it on a table while you're doing this, and then you'll flick the paper clip, and it spins really nicely. It actually works really great. So your child will spin twice, get 2 numbers, add to get a sum, okay? And the fact that they get to use the spinner makes it more fun. If you have a student who's struggling with this skill, I would recommend that you have them write the facts on gridded paper because that'll really help them line up the 10s, line up the 1s. You might even want to do a graphic organizer that has space for when they're regrouping. That can make a big difference for kids. The other thing is, if you want to make it competitive, you can do something where like one player goes, then another, whoever gets the higher sum wins that round. I'm sure you can think of these things, right? But just having the spinner makes it more fun. Oh, another one is make the greatest. So for this one, you need Uno cards or numbered cards. You just pick cards. So if you're doing 2-digit numbers, you would pick 4 cards. The other player picks 4, and whoever can line them up and make the biggest sum, like writing an addition problem, wins that round. Okay, your next skill is subtracting 2-digit numbers, and for most kids, subtraction is harder than addition, especially with the regrouping, so just keep that in mind. Again, you can do note card facts. You're just gonna write subtraction problems. What I love about this for this skill is you can really monitor. So day 1, I probably would give my child one that has no regrouping, you know, and then when they're getting the hang of it, one that has a 0, right? Like trying to like kind of scaffold it for them. We also have worksheets. So on the Book Extras website, we have these worksheets, multiple versions of this. So you can use them several different days. A really fun game for this is Race to Zero. So how you play this, there's different versions. I'll give you one version. You need base 10 blocks, and each player starts with 50. Okay, so that would be 5 10 rods, okay? And you roll a die, and that's how many you subtract. And whichever player gets to 0 first wins. What's the magic of this? Well, the regrouping. So if I have 50 and I roll a 6, automatically I have to break this apart into 1s. And it lets your child work through that process concretely. This is a really good one if your child's having trouble. Play this game for like a week and then come back to the worksheets and see how that goes for you. You also can do the same thing that we did with the addition spinners, except subtraction spinners. That's another great option. All right, your third skill is rounding and estimation. And rounding and estimation, I think as parents, we know estimation can really help kids figure out if their problems don't make sense. But rounding and estimation can be kind of weird for kids. They do need to practice it. It's not as intuitive for every kid as we maybe like to think. Okay, one of the easiest ways to practice this is roll and round. I'm gonna show you, it's in the book. It's really simple. In lesson 5, they play this. They roll dice and then they round it to the nearest 100, or you can roll and round to the nearest 10, okay? And you're trying to get like 5 in a row. On this game, if you don't color them in, if you use bingo chips, you could just play with this game board again. Another one is in lesson 4 in the book, they do an activity called round up or round down. Let me show you the papers that go with it so you can kind of see. So this is the graphic organizer. So if you're gonna round down, you put the numbers here. If you're gonna round up, you put the numbers here. And then they have different cards, some for if you're rounding to the nearest 10, some for if you're rounding to the nearest 100. It makes it a lot more manageable to actually have cards that you're sliding. Oh, I would round that down, I would round that up. It just is a little more hands-on for kids. You can keep these in an envelope after lesson 4 and have your child use them again to rehearse again, right? Or you could also write new ones if you want them to have new practice. You can also change it up. You could have them round these 3-digit numbers to the nearest 10 instead of to the nearest 100. Nice little variation. We also made some really cute, well, I think they're cute, some really nice worksheets for this skill in particular on the Book Extras website. So here's one where they're rounding and coloring. So fun, and it's also quick, right? Here's another just really simple one where I have them round to the nearest 10 with 2-digit numbers, then round to the nearest 100 with 3-digit numbers, then round to the nearest 10 with 3-digit numbers. I mean, just like quick, so they can reinforce that skill. And we also have estimation worksheets there as well, okay? So that's what you have for the Unit 1 skills practice. I hope that's helpful.